Hey boys and girls, it's Crazy Dave with Crazy Dave's House Guitar Instruction, and a while back, actually quite a while back, I was talking with some people about the 7-string guitar that I helped co-design, and they made the point that they didn't understand the purpose of a 7-string guitar, why you would care about having an additional low B. They didn't really see any functional reason for having something like that, and I wanted to do a couple of videos on the 6-string versus 7-string issue, I guess, or challenge or whatever. Now, I think that 7-string should not just be about playing low. Guitar players, we always like to play in the toughest key that we can, you know, the coolest, lowest key, and after we get to low E, we drop tune, and then we use D, and then once we, you know, when we can't get any lower, we add a 7-string, and then we play in the low B. And you know, we want to have this tough, genty type of sound, but you know, it really shouldn't be about that. I mean, drop D tuning has some great functional use, you know, and maybe I could do something on some stuff. I actually, for my song Salvation Street, on this blues song, I had to drop tune because I play slide, and to play both the rhythm parts and the lead parts, I had to do that. But I think I'll make another video on discussing the evolution of low and how guitar players kind of came about tuning low. But you know, 7-strings they do offer a whole new world, and there's jazz players that use 7-strings for creating walking jazz, you know, solo accompaniment, bass riffs that they do, and things. And so for me, it was more about alternate tuning. You know, my wife, Barb, she uses 5-string basses exclusively, and for us that works really well. We don't have a rhythm guitar player. She's a soprano singer, so we like to widen the spectrum as much as we can to use a 5-string bass. And you know, she actually kind of influenced some, you know, other players around the area to do the same type of thing. But I didn't really necessarily want to embrace a 7-string, a low B right away. But since I'm always trying to challenge myself, and I use songs that have alternate tunings, and I've got a song with a 3-string cigar box guitar, and so I always like to try to find these new, different ways to challenge myself as a guitar player. And a 7-string, in a lot of ways, is pretty much just a combination of a baritone guitar and a 6-string. So I wanted to show an example of a time that I actually had to apply a 7-string that worked out really well for me. And years back, I recorded an album with for Upton-Hill on his Wonder recording, and this was kind of a thrill for me because it was a Christmas album that was based off of symphonic rock, and I'm a big fan of symphonic rock, specifically Trans-Siberian Orchestra. And this recording was a combination of like Mannheim Steamroller and TSO, and so there was full string ensemble, and then you had your distorted shred genty guitars and things like that. So I got to do a lot of really cool things that I always wanted to do. And he has a version of God Rest You Merry Gentlemen that has a riff in it based off of the C Altered Dorian Mode. And will I post the music out there for people to check out and look at? No, I'm not going to do that, because I like working with Justin, and he pays me real well, and I don't want him to sue me. So I will show the riff, and we'll discuss it, and I want to show the 6-string and the 7-string version and the challenge that occurred with it. So the riff is based off of C Altered Dorian, and that is our Dorian scale, which is our minor scale with a raised 6th, and it also has a raised fourth. So it's C, D, E flat, F sharp, G, A, B flat, C. And I'm playing that off of the 3rd fret, A string, 5th string. Okay, so the riff is an 8th note pattern where the first time it plays 2 notes, 2 8th notes on every note from the scale. And it does it again with just single notes. Okay, so yeah, big deal. This is not 7-string material. There's nothing 7-stringy about that, and we'll get to that, because I tried to look at different places to play this riff, this run, and I started off with 1st position with my 3rd finger down on the A string, on the 5th string, and playing the C starting there on the 3rd fret. Then I moved it up to the 6th position in where my 3rd finger plays the 8th fret C on the 6th string. Okay, once again, not impossible. In fact, it plays a little bit better when you're up here on the fretted notes. The problem occurs, the issue, the challenge occurs the next measure. And what happens there is there's a riff based off of the C harmonic minor scale, which is our natural minor scale with a raised 6th and a raised 7th. So it's C, D, E flat, F, G, A natural, B natural, and C. Okay, so and of course the legal disclaimer of the C jazz harmonic scale or the jazz harmonic scale is that it is the melodic minor scale with the raised 6th and the raised 7th. So I think that's, like I say, I think that's a legal disclaimer, because that's what we all say when we discuss it. Us theory heads. Do I sound smarter? Anyway, with that, this scale, this run starts off of the G. So it's G, A, B flat, C, D, or actually B natural, I'm sorry. C, G, A, B natural, C, D, E flat, F, G. Okay, so when you combine that, that's where the challenge occurs, because there's no easy way to get to that riff on a 6th string. If I'm down here, it's tough to get to that riff. If I'm up here on the 8th fret, then I'm still shifting position quite a bit. So what I did was I ended up grabbing my 7th string, and I played the Altered Dorian riff based off of the 13th fret of my 7th string. Okay, and so you can see what happens there. When I play it in more of a 11th fret position, 11th position. primed for that walk up. Okay, so everything stays centrally located right within that kind of 10th to 14th fret range or so. So that was real effective for me. That worked out very well. And when we play it live, you know, the song actually is in the key of A, I think, and then it modulates to all these crazy keys and such. So when we play it live, it works out real well because I can keep everything centrally located and not necessarily have to worry about, you know, changing my position as I go up. And so that was very effective. So that's one example of how it worked for me to use a 7-string guitar. And I'm gonna show another video from my song Freebie that also uses a 7-string riff. But we'll add some more discussions as time goes on. But I appreciate your time. I welcome any comments, and you can get more on me at daveparis.com.